This is the new version of Austria's popular railjet train that entered service a little under 2 years ago. It's the second generation of one of Europe's most well-liked and popular high-speed trains. But after almost 2 years in service, the reputation of these trains has been very mixed. So come with me in this video as we take a detailed look at the new railjet, including the stylish new first-class seats, the great new onboard features, and the questionable design choices. So join me in this video as we take a ride from Innsbruck over to Munich as I share my thoughts on the second generation of the railjet. We begin our journey from Innsbruck Hauptbahnhof in the heart of the Alps. Opening in 1853, today it's the busiest and most important station in Austria's Tyrol region. As you'd expect, there's a good amount of facilities here, including a few restaurants and convenience stores. A large ticket office is also present, and there's some nice artworks on the station's walls. At least at the time of filming, the station also hosted 2 exhibitions in the station's gallery. Especially the one on the Brenner Basis tunnel really caught my attention. Once the tunnel opens, it'll be the second longest railway tunnel in the world and cut journey times from Innsbruck towards Italy by over an hour. It's some impressive stuff. Right, and as our train is at least planned to be here in around 20 minutes time, let's head to the platforms. As one of Austria's most important train stations, you have loads of train services here, including local and regional services, many of Europe's north-south freight trains, and of course also long-distance services to and from the Austrian capital, most of which are served by the first generation of railjet trains. We even catch a glimpse of the night train from Amsterdam and Hamburg, which features ÖBB's new nightjet trains. These are based on the same design as the new railjet train we'll be catching today. And it looks like we'll be waiting a little longer for the new railjet to show up. At first, a little 5-minute delay was announced, which just kept increasing ever so slightly every couple of minutes. There is a bit of a running joke in Austria that all train delays are caused by the Germans on the German corner railway. This short stretch of railway line on German soil forms the main corridor between Innsbruck, Salzburg and Vienna. But as our train begins its journey in Innsbruck and is the train's first service of the day, that's not always quite true. Eventually, after a platform change and the mass migration to follow, our train finally shows up with a delay of about 40 minutes. Pulling the new railjet carriages is the Siemens Vectron locomotive capable of 200 km per hour. And while these trains are equipped with a cab control car, at the time of recording these were still not ready for service. They have since been approved for use in Germany and Austria, but they are still lacking approval for countries like Italy, where these trains are also frequently used. One of the main benefits of the new railjet over the old generation of fully high-floor trains is that 7 of the 9 carriages features level boarding, which in theory should be a great improvement to speed up boarding and allow for more universal access. But as you'll see later in the video, that's not always the case. And when you put stairs immediately next to the doors, you'll also lose much of the speedy boarding benefits for passengers with luggage. Anyway, welcome on board the new railjet. Today I'm traveling in first class and my first impressions are really good. As I don't have a seat reservation today, I just grabbed this seat initially. In the end, we depart Innsbruck Hauptbahnhof at 11:19, just under 40 minutes behind schedule. Shortly after departure from Innsbruck, I decided to go grab another seat in the less busy, quiet coach. And with our journey now well on the way, let's take a quick look at the route map for today's trip. This is Railjet 286, which leaves Innsbruck for the quick 171-kilometer long journey that's scheduled to take an hour and 45 minutes to reach Munich. This gives the train an average speed of 98 kilometers per hour. And as the map showcased, this trip is far from fast, but these carriages are designed for speeds of up to 230 km per hour on lines where the infrastructure allows. Right, let's have a look at the new first class seats. First of all, they look excellent. The combination of red and black leather with a hint of wood finishes really looks very smart. A great new addition compared to the old first class seats is the large winged headrest, which is excellent for taking a nap, especially when you are not in the window seat. It's also where you will find the seat's reading light. The airline style seats feel very private with their high back design and got new neat features like this small table equipped with wireless charging and device holder grips. The seats are of course still fitted with a sturdy regular sized tray table alongside a storage pocket as well as ample legroom and a footrest. The seat reservation displays are also pretty cool, with a subtle red light that's illuminated when a seat is reserved, although I hope these cameras are for detecting occupancy and not spying. The seat offers a gentle amount of recline by sliding slightly forwards. A really thoughtful addition to the table seats is the table extender, which should make working on your PC a lot more comfortable. Although it seems like somebody forgot to design a bin that would either go under or on the table somewhere. Every seat is equipped both with USB and a regular power outlet. I really like the new armrest. It is shared, so you might have to fight for it, but if you do like your neighbor, it can be moved down, turning the seat almost into a small couch. And I do mean couch, because these seats are very well padded and overall very comfortable. It's definitely up there among my favorite train seats in Europe, and it's a nice upgrade from the already good first class on the original Railjet. But unfortunately, far from everything on this train is a nice solid improvement over the old generation, which I'll touch more on later in the video. But for now, take a look at the stunning scenery along this route as we slowly make our way away from the Alps. But if mountain scenery is not for you, the whole train is equipped with free Wi-Fi, which worked alright throughout the journey. Next up, our train calls at Kufstein, which is our last stop in Austria and where we turn away from the mountains, instead heading north towards Rosenheim and Munich. We cross the border into Germany uneventfully at this little fence, with the scenery slowly changing for a bit more of a flat landscape. If you're wondering what these hexagons in the windows are for, it's what makes the windows more radio permeable for improved mobile reception. Right, I think it's about time we take a look at the rest of the train's interior, and I show you some of the unfortunately not so great new things about these trains. First of all, the seats in business class are a bit of a letdown, as they are exactly the same seats as in regular first class, the only difference being they are instead in a compartment. It seems like an incredibly strange decision to me when you consider there are some compartments in second class too, but here you are welcome to sit with any regular second class ticket. But if you dare to want a compartment in first class, it's a €15 upgrade to the same seat. But we do get some nice upgrades too, including these chain locks at every luggage rack that work by tapping a NFC card or setting your own PIN code. The installation of these snack zone vending machines throughout the train is also a welcome addition, despite the train already having a dining car. Perhaps that's because the train is very annoying to walk through, having to navigate these narrow steps at least once in every carriage to get to the dining car, which despite being low floor has now been made less accessible, as the accessible seats and wheelchair spots have been moved from next to the counter to a completely different carriage. separated by unnavigable internal steps of course. And where do you think the bike space on this train is? Don't be silly, it's not in the low floor part of the train. Instead, we had to engineer a way to get the bikes up the stairs. But at least many of the good design elements of the first class seats also come through in the new second class seats. They feature the same tall design that gives a good sense of privacy, alongside the mini tables that now also come with wireless charging and device grips. The seats also feature a large tray table, and they have the same couch-like quality to them by moving the armrest. The legroom, however, is very poor, especially when the seat is reclined. Overall, they're not perfect seats, but they are comfortable enough and I wouldn't mind doing a long journey in them. Right, and before it's time to head back to my seat, it's time for a quick look at the toilets, which for some reason ÖBB has decided to gender despite both the bathrooms, being a dedicated space for one person at a time. But as you'd expect from a fairly new train, these are still in pretty good condition. They were fully working with working water, a soap dispenser, clean, functional and well stocked, as you'd expect from a new train. We are now coming up on Rosenheim, our last stop before Munich. Unfortunately, our train haven't made up much of the delay, as we've been stuck behind other trains as we missed our original slot. But now, as we progress towards Munich, let's talk about my overall thoughts about the new generation of the Railjet. I find this train very hard to judge, because you can really tell a lot of effort went in to try and design the next generation of long distance train with lots of innovation, and in many ways they succeeded with stuff like the chain locks for luggage, ski storage and the good information displays, and bringing level boarding to the Railjet. But they also made the experience much worse in other aspects, with all the internal steps, the weird placement of the bike area, and basically just making business class a scam. It feels like we took some steps forward, but at the same time we also took many backwards, and it just leaves the train feeling really confusing. We are now making our penultimate stop at Munich East, an important interchange with the city's S-Bahn and metro network. And that means we'll be at the main station in just a few moments. So let's talk about how much this journey cost. I paid just 34 euros for my first class ticket, booked around 2 weeks in advance through the Deutsche Bahn website, which I thought was pretty good value for the very comfortable first class seats. Second class tickets can be had for as little as 20 euros on this route, but in both cases they vary based on demand and time of booking. Overall, I do feel like these are fine but slightly confused trains. The seats, especially in first class, are very comfortable and they got many great new features. But the design choices with regards to accessibility and the business class seats is a disappointment to say at least. I think there might have been a better middle ground with just 1 or 2 low floor carriages, at least till we find a better way of dealing with the height difference on a train with traditional bogies. In the end, our train pulls into Munich Hauptbahnhof at 13:12, still running about 40 minutes behind schedule. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel as I try to post a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Blue Sky at intercitysimon.com. I usually post live from my travels over there in real time, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming on the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.